carry a firearm and discharge your weapon in self-defense, you could face hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees and expenses. So carry the protection of CCW Safe, Self-Defense Legal Services membership. Upfront payment of all criminal and civil defense costs with no out-of-pocket for members.
Good evening, all you fellow Americans. I am John Wheaton, and I'm here on July 6th, 2025 with Survival Dispatch News, coming back with a special episode where we're going to talk about some very harrowing things that happened with the flash flooding of the river in Texas that has so far claimed north of 70 lives. We're going to go through the news. We're going to talk about what happened and some of the possibilities. Now, as a forewarning about this, we all know kind of where some of this stuff can lead, and there are things that we cannot say because we are live streaming on YouTube. So full disclosure, you're not going to get our full analysis of this and where we think it's coming from, but let's just say that we're leaning along the same lines as what happened in North Carolina late last year. But we cannot talk about certain subjects on a live stream such as tonight. So we're gonna save that for some of our behind the scenes stuff, talking about that. And actually, that's a good segue into going over and signing up for a free Substack account at our Substack for Survival Dispatch. You'll get the Saturday Watch Guide, which gives you a list of all of the published episodes of the week and quick links to everything in the descriptions. There's also other options that will give you some behind the scenes chats and things like that, but we would just like everybody to go and sign up for a free account today if you haven't already. And I'd like to welcome all of our people here. Derek and Sam Evans, thank you for joining. Bruno, Doherty One, Highlands Homestead, Raymond Harmon, thank you guys for joining in with us tonight. We have a jam-packed episode, and we're going to dispense with the terrorist watch and some of the fake news or not, because we're going to get to that. The old media is stirring the pot again. Currently, our threat environment is at code red level, red as in critical. I'm going to show you guys one thing to get started off here. Let me get my screen shared here real quick. And this is from Open Source Intel on X. Actually, I forgot to share that. Excuse me. Had a late day, kind of a crazy day, just full disclosure before we get rolling here. Today is actually my birthday, and I'm 43 today, so I actually had plans to have a pre-recorded episode for you guys, which will probably air either Tuesday or Sunday of next week. It's from when we went down to Waft, and a great roundtable between Mad Bomber Mike, Dave Kemp, Chris Heaven, and the owner of Waft, and a great detailed discussion about situational awareness. That episode is coming. I know it's been you guys have been waiting for over a month for it. Had a little issue with one of my sons losing a hard drive that the episode was on, so the hard drive is in my house, just don't know where. And this is what happens when you have a 9 and 12-year-old helping you unload things from the range. So full disclosure, that's what's going on. Let's see what's happening here. What's going on here? Oh, having some technical difficulty. Here we go. Okay. For some reason, it's changing formats because of my screen. So I apologize for that. Putting this thing back together and there it goes again. So I'm having all kinds of fun issues tonight. Anyways, so open source intel is showing Islamic regime linked Iranian media report that the bounty for assassinating President Trump is risen to over $18 million. This is actually an inside, I guess, bounty on our president from Iran. And so this is a real threat, and they don't like what he has been doing, and it's quite obvious. So yeah, something to keep in mind. So we are currently at code red, which is critical level on our threat environment for terrorism. So moving on to what is next in the main topic, which is this harrowing and horrific flash flood that went through the Texas high country, which really devastated some lives, took some lives, and just was a horrible event. So we're going to get to that, and we're going to talk about it because I think it's a very important thing for us to discuss and see what the potential cause of this could be. So what took place in the early hours of Friday, July 4th, essentially the night of July 5th, July 5th moving into the July Central Texas, especially Kerr County and the Hill Country, was struck with an unexpected, powerful, localized storm. Within about 45 minutes, the Guadalupe River surged to 26 feet, nearly setting a new record for Kerrville. Over 15 inches of rain fell in some parts of the region, and the floodwater swept through cabins in Camp Mystique, a girls' summer camp on the riverbank. 10 campers and a counselor remain unaccounted for days after. As of July 6th, the death toll is at 78. I believe it actually just crested over 80. I think Chris sent me an article saying it was over 80. I didn't have a chance to actually read it. 28 children of Kerr County alone. So this was a devastating storm, and just our hearts and prayers and thoughts go out to everybody that is affected by this. We never want to see this, no matter what your political ideology is or where you stand. We're all Americans in these kind of situations, at least those of us that want to be, as you'll see later on. But man, just crazy stuff. And when we show you some of the videos, it's going to blow your mind. If you haven't already seen them, I know they've been circulating pretty heavily on X, but some of you guys may not have seen them due to the holiday weekend. I was not actually even aware of this because I was caught up in obviously family things, taking the kids to fireworks displays, and then had my sister came in for a surprise birthday party for me yesterday. So, and then filming out at the range yesterday afternoon. So I've been very busy, but wanted to get through some of this stuff because, man, is it crazy? And we're going to get to that right now. So the first video that we have to show you guys, it just kind of shows the power of this water that we can see here. So here we go. Minute 7 seconds. Here we go. It looks like you can see this water just absolutely rushing through. Rivers outflowing their banks. This is like a campground right next to the river. You see these under bridges, just rushing water. You can see trees uprooted here. Just a devastating thing. just a powerful storm. If you guys know how powerful water is, it can destroy things faster than just about anything when it runs through. And I mean, 80 people already dead from this, including 28 innocent little children, which is devastating. Here's another video. We'll get to this. This is Houston flood. They're talking about update from the Texas Hill Country. This was from yesterday. The OPS update from the Hill Country, Northwest Austin, which is in central Texas, received heavy rain overnight on the 5th, and Colorado River watershed will be impacted. 9 rescue teams, 14 helicopters, 12 drones have been used. 237 people have been rescued. That's actually up to 850 now, which we'll get to later on. They've activated National Guard. FEMA has been activated, and you can see here in this video, if you back it up, you can see this is practically dry here. And how fast it starts moving is pretty insane. You can see it start to rush up here in this area, and then it just builds and builds and builds. And this is a 37-minute video, so I'll fast forward it just to show you guys how insane this gets over time. Eventually, those trees are some of them are completely wiped out. So I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit. But you can see all the debris flowing through underneath this bridge. Rooted trees. These trees are getting knocked down. Big hunks of trees and stuff coming down that way. And it just keeps building and building and building. Yeah, CB, he put up there, in 45 minutes, it reached 26 feet. Think of that. Man, if you were close to the river or something, you can see this looks like waves up in this area. Just absolutely crazy. You can hear those happening. Crack. This is about to fall over. So if I put it just a little bit more, and there you go. Now it's basically up, pushing against the bridge, and all those trees are gone. Now you're getting water over the bridge and debris. So, yeah, that is some scary stuff. And little warning, which we'll get to in a little bit. Here's another time lapse. Let me show you guys this. This is also kind of crazy. It gives you kind of a view over a period of time. This is 30 seconds, but it's a time lapse of several minutes. You can see up here in the corner the minutes tick away. There you see the water coming up, building, and it just keeps rising and rising and rising and rising. And these people keep backing up. Eventually, they get in their cars and move back because it's just rising. I remember when I was a kid, we had May Vang. I'm in Texas, and it's been devastating. We're trying to organize disaster relief efforts, but we're getting rained out. Weather currently says that it will rain until Wednesday. Prayers accepted. Our prayers are with you very much. Yeah, this is something we never want to see anybody do or go through. Reminiscent of what we saw our fellow Americans go through in North Carolina last fall. And yeah, we, as Americans, this is a time where we come together. Of course, some people want to politicize this. We're not here to politicize. We're just here to report and let you guys see what's actually going on, because it is a sad moment, because you're seeing lives uprooted, homes, maybe family homes that have been there for generations, wiped out. It's terrifying and very, very sad. And the loss of life, because as 33 Scorpion says, buildings can be replaced, but people cannot be replaced. Your mercy, oh God. Absolutely. I echo that 100%. It is, it's something that we must pray for these people. And, there are some resources that we can donate to. Obviously our good friend, Doc Pete Chambers, is down in the thick of all of this doing work. And, he's a man of God, and he's doing amazing work. So let's go to this next one. This is Laura Logan, and she did some really fantastic reporting on some of the aftermath here. So let's watch this video real quick. 2 minutes, 13 seconds. I may stop it a couple times to talk, but we'll watch this real quick.
Wow. So I'm standing on the edge of the Guadalupe River, although it's normally on the other side of those trees is where the river bank is. All of this water is not normally here, and the water came right up this hill. I mean, past this house to the road. You can see up there, when you're up on the road, you can actually see the water line. And this is like a graveyard. There's a vehicle or an RV, truck or an RV wrapped around every one of these trees. And we just found a little dog wandering around here. Looked like it had lost its owners, a little Chihuahua. So I asked some people to take it to the rescue center. But one of the things that's kind of amazing is that it's been I know that first responders are out there all over the place and law enforcement, but down here it's all volunteers. And when they found the body just up the river, then the uniformed guys came down here from the command center. But it was volunteers here working all today and all yesterday and last night. I spoke to a number of them who were here. What's crazy is that Mystic, the camp where all those young girls tragically went missing, is just around 11 miles up the road. And I've been told this story now by a couple of people. I have to still confirm it fully, but a couple of people told me there was a girl who was on a mattress, and she came all the way down the river and was found a few miles down there. So if that is accurate, that would be just unbelievable. Your heart goes out to these people. It doesn't. It's hard to describe what it's like to be here.
Agreed. And just so I'm kind of jumping ahead on my list of things, but yeah, she mentioned the young girl that was actually confirmed. This is Congressman Chip Roy, who is congressman in that area, reporting on that real quick. 12-second video.
One of the little girls from our school, thankfully, praise the Lord, was found. She floated on a mattress for 3 hours yesterday morning. And we just got the text notice that she survived, and we've located her and that she's safe and sound. So one of the little girls from our school.
She literally floated from the camp, Camp Mystic, which is a Christian girls camp, down the river for 3 hours on a mattress. And thankfully, that mattress was made of stuff that floated, and it floated all the way down, and she held on for dear life and was rescued 3 hours after she lost contact with the other people at the camp, and we'll get to that too. The owner of the man that ran the camp died trying to save little girls, and man, this is I don't usually get emotional, but man, like it's harrowing and devastating, but it's also inspiring when you see people who live selflessly in these situations, who don't think about taking things, who don't think about stealing from others. They think about saving lives. And that's what America's all about, guys. That's what Christianity is all about. That's the men that run towards danger, and women that run towards danger to do the things that need to be done to save lives, to rescue people, to rescue pets. And man, it's both a sad and an inspiring day to be an American today. This is crazy. This is a grocery store that flooded so fast that there were still people in it. Watch this. Oh. Oh. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, there was a preacher. The worst is this this is the camp where a huge group of young girls died horribly, and the people still believe in God, and they're thanking him for something, saving one or killing 26. I'm not sure. I have to say, man, I'm the people that fought to save those lives, and the people that want to help. It's amazing. Here's another video of a house. There's people in it. There's so many people in it. People in it. They rescue people throughout the night. Floating on the water. People in it. There's people in it. There's so many people in it. I mean, I yes, I echo this from 33 Scorpion. Huge number of girls have died. This is prime summer camp. I went to church camp when I was a kid. This is prime summer camp time. There's a lot of camps going on, and they don't know. They don't know that these things are coming. It's this massive level of water dropping all at once. And, that's where we can't really talk and get in depth about what we consider the cause of this, because we're on YouTube. There'll be more information come out from our experts that we work with here at Survival Dispatch, but there are unfortunately some things that we can't dive into here on YouTube about what's going on, because this is very, very crazy. So the DHS Secretary Kristi Noem was on the ground in Kerrville just hours after this happened. Definitely a big difference from our previous DHS Secretary, Mayorkas, who went on vacation while the snowstorm was going on in North Carolina. Let's watch this. This is Governor Abbott and Kristi Noem talking about the rescue situation right now.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the assets and resources you and the Trump administration are providing. One thing the Secretary Noem mentioned was the fact that recoveries and rescues are being made. And what has happened over the past 36 hours is really amazing. When you look at what the local officials have done, working in collaboration with multiple state agencies as well as our federal partners, in 36 hours, they have rescued or recovered more than 850 people, some clinging to trees to save their lives, others in other precarious situations. It's just sheer heroism, the way that we've seen our first responders rescue so many people. And now I would like to turn things over to Senator John.
My thanks to President Trump and Secretary Noem for responding.
So, yeah, we've got it's a crazy thing. Here's some more. Just a second here. Pull this next one up. Here's some more footage from Laura Logan. Just looking at this new kind of almost riverbed that was carved out by this onslaught of water. Let's watch this real quick. You see debris, parts of other trees, parts of homes, parts of vehicles, cars, in around trees, mud, and you get caught in this at the moment it happens, your chances of survival are pretty low, in all honesty. And we do rely on early warning systems in order to be able to understand danger. And I know that this audience is much more adept at understanding survival in critical situations. There are some critical situations where you really just have to trust God. Like if you're heading home from work and you don't know about a river flowing at 26 feet higher than normal, it's wow, just crazy. I know I keep saying wow and unbelievable and insane, but those are literally the only words I can think of, guys. I mean, it's just crazy to me. And if this was some sort of nefariously developed type thing, which we're not going to talk about, but man, God have mercy on those people, or God judge those people. But anyways, this here is a really this would just kind of give you guys an idea of the destruction. So this is Kerrville, Texas, then and now. The 2024
Kerrville, Texas, then and now. The July 4th floods of 2025.
I remember when I was younger, 93 was the year. We had a massive rainfall in the middle of Illinois, Missouri area, and there's some levees that broke around the Cape Girardeau area. The water crested it, flooded fields, impacted homes. Some people forded their homes. Then we had another flood that went through Mississippi. This was when I was attached to the Air National Guard and at Scott Air Force Base, and we ended up going and filling sandbags and building a levee there. River water, man, when it gets crazy like that, flowing like that, it's something. It can do destruction. It can uproot houses that you never, thought could. And there's very little that you can get. Very little ways to get away from it when it's rushing at that speed. Jan Rogers, welcome. Andy, welcome. Maria Korn, welcome. Trying to get you guys involved and like, if there's anybody else in the Texas area or around this that could give us some intel in the chat. I know we've already had a couple chime in on this, but give us a little bit of information if you've got some to share with us what's going on. I'm hearing rumors that there may be some increases to possible more flooding coming, and that's like the last thing that you want in these kind of situations, just when you're starting to clean up and it starts flooding again. Doherty, you live in Kerrville. Hey, prayers to you, my friend. I hope you and all of your family is safe. I was not aware of that, man. Is everything okay? And what's the synopsis? Go ahead and put some things in the chat, and I'll share them with people. Yeah, God bless you, brother. As we'll move on here to this next one, this is the worst part. This is the worst part. And these are, this is from Sassafras 84. Here's some of the survivors from Camp Mystic. It's okay to cry. It's a traumatizing experience. Lives were lost. They're singing and praising God, and it brought tears to my eyes. Brave, brave girls.
It's fresh like spring. We want to pass it on. For you, my friend, this happiness that I found. Can't depend on it. It matters not where you're bound. I'll shout it from the mountain tops. Praise God. I want my world to know the Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on. I'll shout it from the mountain tops. Praise God. I want my world to know the Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
So yeah, you can see getting those girls out. Man, just devastating and very, very, very tough. I mean, first of all, those girls are tough as nails to survive the way that they did, to do what they did. Just our hearts and our prayers go out to them. May God bless them and keep them safe in this. And a good amount of them have been rescued. And here's a really cool story. This is a twin brother and sister, 14-year-old twins, helped save lives during the Texas flood. Clara was at Camp Mystic, and Nolan, her brother, they're twins, at a camp nearby, carried small campers to safety. Clara treated the injured. An 8-year-old from Camp Mystic floated on a mattress to her cousin at Camp La Junta. Yeah. So this young brother and sister, man, heroes at a young age to do those kind of things. Here is a post about, well, here, let me stop this real quick and we'll jump to this one. So here's the storm system that went through. And if you know Austin, San Antonio area, and ironically, I'm going down there in October to do some training in the San Antonio area. Hopefully the range I'm going to didn't get wiped out. But Austin, and then Waco's to the north, San Antonio. I know San Antonio well. I did my training for the Air Force there. And then over here in this area is Houston, Corpus Christi down here. So it's basically right in the heart of Texas. You got Dallas and Abilene up to the northeast and west. So this is really just the heart of Texas. And yeah. So Doherty, okay. It's hard to tap. I'm so sad. We need prayers and dollars and chainsaws. We're gonna send the alerts out and get you guys some more information. Looks like he posted, and I'm gonna pin this if I can. I'm gonna star it. You guys copy this down if you can. Click on this or copy it down and put it in a window on your computer. Save it so that you can donate there. Sadly, we have friends who are teachers who lost many students. I know that my wife actually lost a student, not obviously to a tragedy like this, but she lost a student last semester, and that is devastating to see a young life, in this case, lives snuffed out by a disaster. It's so sad. Yes, and this is the sad truth of the world that we live in, is that calamity does befall both righteous and unrighteous, because we live in a fallen world. But we don't grieve like people without hope, for sure. And I would venture to say that a lot of these young girls that died in this tragedy probably in a better place today. As sad as that is, they were at a Christian camp, so typically that means that they at least believe in the God that we believe in. So, that's one bit of hope, but it doesn't change the loss for a family. I couldn't imagine losing a child. It's an unfortunate side effect of a sinful and fallen world that we live in. So. Understood, preacher. I'm 60 years old and I have seen too much of this. Search and rescue pilot and paramedic. I can only imagine, brother. I can only imagine. And it just tears you up. I'm a cancer patient. Well, prayers to you, my friend, and can no longer help, but it kills me. I understand. I completely understand. The one thing that we can do is we can give resources to people. Really awesome that you guys are giving us some live updates. Kerrville is a town of churches. We have a 77-foot cross looking over our town. Yep. It's a high concentration of churches, similar to the area that I live in. Seems like there's a church on every corner. Moving on, the media cannot wait to pounce on a tragedy to talk about something. And this was quickly debunked, but we're going to go to the disgusting CNN Dana Bash partisan hack and her synopsis of what this is. And of course, you hear all of the famous climate change and all of this stuff. But let's listen to this if we can stomach 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
How much do you think the changing climate is part of what we are seeing go on here? Not just what we're seeing in the pictures that we're showing on the screen, but even the flood that you talked about in San Antonio in June.
No, I think climate change is obviously a part of it. These floods are happening more often in more parts of the country and really all over the world. And so we have to face that reality and be better prepared for it and combat it.
And just talking about the federal government and even the local government, 2 Texas National Weather Service offices involved in forecasting and warning about flooding on the Guadalupe River are missing some key staff members. A director of the NWS union told CNN that the Austin San Antonio office is missing a warning coordination meteorologist due to the Trump administration's buyouts. Do you have any indication whether those or other cuts helped play a role in the fact that the people in the flood zone were not prepared and certainly not evacuated?
I can't say that conclusively,
There's a reason why he can't say that conclusively, and I'll show you guys in a minute.
but I do think that it should be, and I don't think it's helpful to have missing key personnel from the National Weather Service not in place to help prevent these tragedies. And, when I say that we ought to do everything possible to help prevent a tragedy like again, that's part of what I mean. That's why there's an incredible value to the National Weather Service, is because, on most days, obviously, you're not going to have a tragedy like this. But when you have flash flooding, there's a risk that you won't have the personnel to do that analysis, do the predictions in the best way, and it could lead to tragedy. So I don't want to sit here and say conclusively that that was the case, but I do think that it should be investigated.
Yeah, well, so let me show you this. The AP reported, whoops, there goes the narrative end wokeness posted, and Western Lensman tagged Dana Bash of the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which directs the forecast in Austin, San Antonio, and surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, Runyon said. And they had up to 5 on staff extra. So, yeah. And he knew that. That's why he was saying, I can't say this conclusively, because he knew that he was going to look ridiculous. But it just goes to show you how disgusting CNN will get. And that's not the worst. Here's the worst. This is a person online, Sadie Perkins, I think, or Sade Perkins, is a market manager for Freedmanstown Farmers Market and a non-resident fellow at the University of Princeton. She serves on the board of directors for Houston's Food Insecurity in Houston, Texas. Receipts in the thread. You guys brace yourselves, because when I watched this, my blood boiled.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls' Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going, period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported. They shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada, yada, yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better, the parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice to go into East goddamn Texas and to make a all-white enclave exclusionary just for white people with all the...
This is the disgusting stuff that comes from the left and the woke mind virus that plagues so many people. And you know what? There are people on the right that we have our problems too. There's a lot of people that I definitely don't agree with on the right, but this is disgusting. This is uncalled for. This is, you know, they always want to talk about, oh, thoughts and prayers. What good are thoughts and prayers when it comes to stuff like gun violence and things like that? Because there's a agenda behind it. Well, there's an agenda behind this too. As someone who lives in the area, Doherty said, it's a 1% black population. That's very similar to the area that I live in. I think we're like 3 or 4% black in Southern Illinois here. So no, there's not a whole lot of black people that go to the camps because there just aren't a whole lot of black people in the area. That has nothing to do with racism. or anything like that. There are certain areas in this country that are predominantly white. That doesn't mean that it's full of racists. It's and this woman is showing her proclivity for racism and turning this into a race issue. This was a tragedy. This was a horrible, and imagine the parents of these little girls that died watching this video, watching this woman trying to turn this into something that it's not. And I'm sick and tired of this, guys. I am so sick and tired of everything having to be some sort of race thing or some sort of identity politics bullcrap. Let's have a moment to mourn these lives. Let's give these parents a chance to get used to life without their children. Here you go. This little 8-year-old girl died. She doesn't actually look white. She kind of looks Hispanic. She was one of the mystic campers. That girl does not look white to me. This is disgusting garbage. And these people, this person needs to be outed. This person needs to be ridiculed for this garbage because it's evil. If you go to this post from Sarah Fields, all this information's in here. This is wrong. This is so wrong, and it's evil. To turn this into a race issue when people are mourning the deaths, and some of these little girls haven't even been found yet. Their bodies haven't even been found and may never be found. And that's another part of this, of the mourning process, of never being able to find a body and never knowing matter-of-factly. I mean, you do know to a certain extent, but you don't. There's no conclusion to it. There's no closure for those people if they never recover a body. And the reality is just as we found in North Carolina, you may not. Because these rivers will wash away and they'll go away. It's so disgusting. Ugh. I don't know what to say. And here's more evidence of the left, and they're just wonderful, considerate voices. Miss Butters, Ruh-roh, Texas. What you gonna do? There's no FEMA to pick you up by your bootstraps. They gave it all to ICE. Texas deserves a flood. God has spoken and he hates Texas. Ron Flubkowski. People of Texas voted for a government that's services controlled by Donald Trump and Greg Abbott. These people are disgusting. Cry harder. Texas deserves it. These are, yes, I agree, Ocean. I agree. Nasty people. These are the people that when we say thoughts and prayers to somebody who's a victim of some sort of violent crime, that's most of the time preventable, or the FBI had somebody on their list that they let slip through the cracks. We say thoughts and prayers, and we get ridiculed by these folks. Well, you're not doing anything. You know who is doing something? Doc Pete Chambers is down there. He's diving into that water. He's a God-fearing man, and his whole outfit's down there diving into those waves, pulling people out, saving people's lives. You know what? They're conservative Christians. You guys sit behind your Twitter accounts and foment about how Texas deserves this. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And yes, online keyboard cowards, 100%. These people are cowards, and they don't deserve our time. They don't deserve, and I'm showing you this just to show you what the other side is capable of, what they really think. Because Americans don't ridicule each other. Americans don't laugh at each other when we get down on hardships. That's something that partisan hacks do. If I had a liberal friend that was trapped, I would save them just like anyone else, because I don't care about politics when lives are on the line. And the true spirit of America are those men and women that run towards danger, that help people, that nurse them back to health, that pull them from waters, that help them rebuild their houses. And we're going to see a lot of that over the upcoming months and years as we rebuild these communities that were devastated. And those people will be in churches praying and thanking God for his grace and his providence and his provision. And the left will sit there and they will be bitter and angry and laughing and joking and pointing fingers at people. But you know what? We're better than that as Americans. We are better than that. And we can show them. And what we show them is we show them by being Americans, by going and helping our fellow man, by helping each other be who we're supposed to be. This country was founded on the ideas of individualism, but also that as individuals, we help our fellow man out. We believe in the principles of Scripture. We believe in the principles of what makes this country the best country on the face of the earth. And even in tragedy, we see heroes emerge. Could be as young as 14-year-old twins. But they emerge and they inspire us to do the right thing when bad things happen. Because at our core, what God would want us to do and what our country implores us to do is to help, is to give of ourselves for the greater good. It's a sad moment that we've witnessed, and I've only brought you guys a small portion of the stuff. If you guys want to see more, I would advise you guys to go get on X and just search Texas flood, get all the latest stuff, we continue to be gut-wrenched by this tragedy. And like I said, there's a lot of things that we can't get into in this episode because of the regulations of social media and things that we can't talk about. I've seen some of the stuff in the comments. I didn't put that stuff up purposefully. I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I agree a lot of time. I agree with a lot of the things that were said in the chat, for sure. But we unfortunately can't talk about it. One last thing I will give you guys is this one. What a change! What a difference! Mayorkas during the North Carolina flood, out shopping, doing whatever. Kristi Noem was in a helicopter, surveying the damage, press conferences, allocating resources, getting everything that needed to be done. The Trump administration has given a lot of things already, and I know there's more resources that are going to outflow. I honestly, there's been a lot of calls on X for a day of mourning for these lost lives, especially these little girls. I definitely think that that's appropriate in considering what's going on and what happened, because those families, and if any of the parents of any of those little girls was to watch this episode, I want to say we're with you guys. I have a little 4-year-old girl of my own. I have a 9-year-old son and a 12-year-old son, and I couldn't imagine losing one of them in this way. And sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional, because this hits hard, close to home. When you start thinking about those things, it's devastating, and I can't even imagine what you're going through, but rest assured that God knows where you're at and he's there for you. And we, as your fellow Americans, are here for you. Darty, if you would put that link back up for the donation that you had there for the local relief, I'll send that out. I'll give that to Chris, and maybe we can put it out in the SITREP. And we also have you guys can also donate to Doc Pete's, which is the Remnant Ministries. They're doing some stuff to help out. So go to Remnant Ministries, and here's the here's the link. You guys can copy that down if you can on your YouTube chat or Rumble chat there. I put it up so you guys can see it. You can pause the video and take that down. I know it's sometimes hard to copy these things, but that's a local fund that's allowing, it's the Texas Hill Country. So yeah, if you guys can donate to that. We have some very dear people that are on just about every episode that live in this area. So help these people out. It's the American and it's the Christian thing to do. That's going to end it for us tonight. I just wanted to give this whole episode to this and give you guys some real information on it. If you guys have enjoyed this as much as you can enjoy a tragedy, but at least appreciated us giving you this news, please go ahead and like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel you're watching, go ahead and subscribe to us across all platforms, because it really does help us out. And share this episode with others that need to be informed of this. It's a big deal. And I'm going to, as I always do, close us out in prayer, and then we're going to close this out. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to yep. So just wanted to make sure of something, and I'm going to go ahead and pray us out. And would you guys please join me in a sincere way, and let's pray for our fellow Americans who are really, really struggling tonight. Heavenly Father, we know you are a God of love, you are a God of justice, and you are a God of grace and mercy. And I pray for all of those things, that I pray for mercy and grace to the people that have lost, whether it be a home, a child, a loved one, a husband, a son, whatever. That family member that may have been lost, 80 plus lives lost, and that's 80 plus families affected by this storm. But we know that you are in control and you are all powerful, Lord. And I pray that any deceit, any evil that may be behind anything like this, that you would root it out and you would expose it. That you would expose people with ill intent in their hearts towards their fellow man. We would show them for who they are, so that we can be aware. Not so that we can retaliate, but just so that we can be aware, so that we know what the truth is behind everything that they try and emit to us. Lord, I pray that you give us the ability to support these families, to help them out. If we have time to offer, that you would inspire us to go and do these things, Lord. I pray that you protect those search and rescue pilots, divers, and just the volunteers that are going into harm's way, that are going into the clutches of death, really, to save lives and to pull people out and to search for things that really matter to people. But I pray for the lives that have been turned upside down, that you would put your arms around them tonight, that you would comfort them, that you would give them peace, and that you would show them that you will help them through this. Lord, and I pray that you be glorified in the end for all of this. I pray for each and every one of our members that are here every night, that are in these areas, that are in danger, or that just suffered from this, Lord, I pray that you undergird them, that you hold them in your arms, and that you give them peace. And it's in Jesus' name, amen. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Chris has another episode. We're going to talk about some terror alerts and other things that are going on. Until then, always remember that humanity is the most important. God created us for a reason. We need to be prepared so that we can give when tragedy strikes, and so that we can survive when we need to. Don't forget, God is in control, and we will persevere to the end. Until tomorrow, you guys have a great night. God bless America.
I shall never surrender or retreat. And I call on you, in the name of liberty and of patriotism, and everything dear to the American character, to come to our aid with all dispatch. P.S. The Lord is on our side.